Did you vote yet?
What's going on, y'all? Thank y'all so much for being here today. Truly appreciate y'all, for real. If you are new to my podcast, just want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to show you what I'm about.
You ain't shit.
And if you are returning viewers, just want to say thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you.
You know, through my journey, to be honest, because yesterday I was looking at some of my old videos, like when I started making content and whatnot. I was like cringing so hard, like just looking at my old poems and my old podcasts, how cheesy and cringy or how bad the audio was.
Well, we gotta start somewhere.
Just want to say,
be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.
When you are starting something, it's never going to start off perfect. You feel me? There's going to be a lot of imperfections, a lot of flaws. However, we get better, you know? I just truly want to emphasize that because we are in a very interesting time where people are just giving up because they don't want to look bad.
Do you have any idea how stupid that will make us look?
I truly want to emphasize that because there are so many people right now who I know that don't want to take a shot at their dream because they're afraid how they're going to look or how they're going to be perceived.
Never judge a book by its cover.
And I'll be honest, me doing this podcast stuff, it made me a little uncomfortable because I've never really wanted to be on camera or speak my beliefs because I know
People are
Emotional.
there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be triggered with my way of thought and the things that I believe. However, I taught myself not to take anything personal. And I feel like with elections, there's a correlation because people are so emotionally charged. Back then, people can be in a room with those with opposing sides and they will still shake hands, they will still drink coffee together. But nowadays, it's so divided. People will literally hate you because of what you believe in.
They may not like me, but they will respect me.
You're not going to satisfy everyone. As long as you satisfy yourself, truly, like, who else's approval do you need, you know?
I look like I give a fuck.
So just wanted to say that, and let's move straight to my topic. So if Donald Trump becomes president, there's truly going to be a lot of backlash from the other side, and vice versa. If Kamala becomes president, there's going to be a lot of backlash from the opposing side. So again, shit is going to get funny, you feel me?
Real funny.
Trump's presidency will likely bring a mix of continuity
Fill up this little area, let him in. It'd be so nice.
and change in international relations, especially with his well-known stance on American first policies. So here are some expected impacts. 1. International alliances and partnerships. Trump has historically been skeptical of long-standing alliances like NATO, emphasizing that the United States shouldn't bear disproportionate costs for global security. Another term could lead to further tension with allies in Europe and Asia if he renews efforts to make these alliances more transactional. I feel like Trump's all about that money, so if he becomes president, there's going to be a lot of deals going on, if you know what I mean.
Give me my money.
2. Trade policies and global economy. Trump's approach to trade often involves tariffs and trade renegotiations, which could lead to short-term tension with China, the European Union, and possibly other regions. The potential for another trade war with China or increased tariffs can impact the global economy, affecting markets, supply chains, and manufacturing.
There's just too much at stake now.
We already know that there's something called BRICS and that there are so many countries leaving the American dollar. So right now, if Trump becomes president, and if he does add more tariffs, which he usually often does, which a lot of people think that's good and a lot of people think that's bad. However, who knows? Like, I am no special analysis person that can really determine whether or not that'll be good for the world state right now.
But anyway,
We're fucked.
3. Middle East and conflict areas. Trump has shown a preference for withdrawing U.S. troops from conflict zones, focusing more on avoiding endless wars. However, he also showed strong support for Israel and took a hardline stance on Iran. And if you guys look back when he was president, he bombed one of their main commanders, a missile strike during the day. You feel me? So a lot of people feel that if he becomes president, that he's going to be spamming missiles in Iran, and it's not going to be good for anybody.
Lord, you gotta help us.
A return could lead to continued U.S. support for Israel while also increasing sanctions on Iran and other adversaries, potentially escalating tensions in the Middle East.
A possibility for peace in the Middle East.
So now let's move on to your girl, Kamala Harris.
Our democracy is on the ballot.
If Kamala Harris were to assume the presidency, her approach would likely align with democratic values on global collaboration, diplomacy, and progressive policies. Here's how her presidency might affect the world. 1. Strengthening alliances and diplomacy. Harris would likely work to reinforce alliances and multilateral cooperation. She would likely emphasize rebuilding United States ties with NATO, the European Union, and the Asian allies, supporting a more collaborative approach to global security and defense. 2. Human rights and humanitarian efforts. Harris has a record of supporting human rights and social justice, which would likely influence her approach for global humanitarian crises. Her administration might increase support for refugee programs, humanitarian aid, and human rights initiatives in conflict regions, which could improve global perceptions of the United States. Three, U.S.-China relations. Harris might take a more measured approach to China, balancing competition with diplomatic engagement. Her approach might emphasize diplomacy over confrontation, reducing the risk of a trade war. Middle East and peace initiatives. Harris is likely to pursue more balanced policies in the Middle East, focusing on diplomacy rather than solely military support. She would likely work to support Israel, but might also emphasize humanitarian aid and support for Palestinian rights.
I told him that I will always ensure that Israel is able to defend itself, including from Iran and Iran-backed militias such as Hamas and Hezbollah. From when I was a young girl, collecting funds to plant trees for Israel, to my time in the United States Senate and now at the White House, I have had an unwavering commitment to the existence of the State of Israel, to its security, and to the people of Israel.
It's not good for me.
All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for being here. That's the end of the podcast. I know today's video was kind of boring.
Boring.
Just want to say whatever happens tomorrow happens, you feel me? And, if Trump becomes president, I hope he does everything within his power to fix all the shit going on, and vice versa with Kamala. If she becomes the first female president, you feel me? That'd be kind of dope. But I just hope the better candidate wins, you feel me? But yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. Hit a like and subscribe if you're new to my content. And I truly appreciate, like I said, every single person who has been here through my journey. So yeah, best of luck to every single person in their life. And I truly hope that y'all keep pursuing your dreams. And if you're not pursuing it, better start today, you feel me?
You feel me?
Did you vote? Are you gonna vote? Will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me?